Good morning to you. It's always a pleasure having you here on ENCA. Let's talk a little bit about the Integrity Commission. We'll talk morality in just a moment. Some critics of the Integrity Commission are saying that despite all the talk of sparks this weekend, there won't be much to talk about. What do you think?
Yeah, welcome also to the viewers. I strongly align myself with that view. I do not understand this whole notion of ANC leaders volunteering to appear before the Integrity Committee. The African National Congress is more than 100 years old. It should set the scene. It should lead in terms of accountability, transparency, and unfortunately that is where the African National Congress is lacking. You can't have a situation where more than 100 years they are still finding ways of devising guidelines how to deal with this particular situation. So I do align myself. My prediction is I can't see that the Integrity Committee will take a decision where they will, even if they do take a decision, the Secretary-General is just going to disregard that decision.
If we go according to what we're hearing from Magashule, that he volunteered, it's a very important word to use, he volunteered to appear before the party's Integrity Commission. Some are asking, why hasn't he volunteered to step aside and take the moral high ground on this?
No, he wouldn't do that because, I mean, you should understand when the environment is conducive for the kind of public pronouncements that we have seen, even if you look at the behavior of some of our leaders, I mean the former president and even the Secretary-General, each time when they appear in the media, they don't send a message where they want to instill discipline. I mean, it's always questioning certain decisions, and I can't see why he himself, because I'm working for a university, if whether it's drunken driving or any other aspect, I would immediately be suspended, irrespective of whether I've been found guilty in a court of law, because you are bringing the organization into disrepute. And I don't know why does that principle not apply to the African National Congress. But it all has to do with these untouchables. I mean, if Magashule was any other member down at the branch level, I think action would have been taken. But unfortunately, he's one of the so-called untouchables are within the African National Congress. And that's why you see the dilly-dallying around this whole issue of taking discipline head-on in the African National Congress. And one question that I have is that I know that he has aspirations to become the leader of the African National Congress. And I mean, even as an SG, the question is, how is he going to ensure that there are discipline at our branch level if he himself does not want to, obviously obey the rules of the African National Congress?
We're hearing a lot of words like volunteering and toothless as far as this Integrity Commission and Magashule is concerned. Mr. Matabisi, do you think the ANC is scared of Magashule?
No, most definitely. I mean, without a shadow of doubt, they definitely scared of it, and they can only be scared people like, I've got great respect for our president, Cyril Ramaphosa. He was my second president after Nelson Mandela. If you look at the history but he himself has been strangled by the internal politics, and there's a lot of other things that have gone wrong also from the Ramaphosa side, and that's why you will always see they are very cautious when they have to deal with this. I don't understand why the Integrity Committee cannot take a proactive stance. Why should they always? I mean, the members are volunteering and it's only then that they react. That for me is unacceptable.
I asked you earlier about the morality, the moral compass of Magashule in this situation. Yes, a corruption accused. I asked you the question of morality there. Where's the moral compass in this from the ANC, do you think? And why aren't they being more hard-lined? What is it that they're afraid of, not just within the Magashule scenario, but are they, do you think, concerned about a knock-on effect if they come down too hard on corruption, which of course they should be doing, but do you think they're playing it a bit too safe?
Yeah, a very good question. The question is, I think they've become comfortable with some of the things that have been getting away. And unfortunately, the African National Congress, and this has to do with the members of the ANC from branch level and district level, they have actually relegated their responsibility of ensuring that they hold their leaders accountable. If you see what is happening at branch level, the ANC is divided. For me, there's actually three ANCs. And coming back to your question, the whole issue of morality, I mean, morality, the moral compass will not hold. Yeah, if you know that you will get away. And unfortunately, they've made serious mistakes in the past, people like the Secretary-General. And that's why sometimes, even if they get questions, because they are not used to that, they used to call the shots. And now suddenly they are in a situation where they are being questioned, and that is uncalled for them. And that's why I see behind the scenes there are huge pressure trying to get rid of Cyril Ramaphosa, the current president of our country and of the African National Congress. Morality does not hold for them because they've been getting away from that. There is a sheer lack of discipline within the African National Congress. Just look at some of the elective conferences, how members go around physical fights. Some ANC cadres have even lost their life as a result of the position that they hold. How many people have lost their lives around the Vrede Dairy Farm issue? We don't say the SG, we are not judges, we don't say he's guilty, but at the end of the day, the question is, he is a senior leader within the ruling party in the Africa. He should have set the example, but unfortunately, morality does not apply to people like the Secretary-General of the African National Congress.
Let's talk about the most senior member of the African National Congress, of course, the most senior member or the most senior politician in this country, Cyril Ramaphosa, Mr. Matabisi. You just referred to him. At what point, if there's this potential threat of politicking within the ANC, these three ANCs that you refer to, if there is a target on the ANC president's back, why doesn't he come out harder and try and quash this and bring the ranks of the ANC back in line? What do you think is happening there?
Once again, a very good question. The question is, I also, some commentators have predicted that he will find it difficult after Nasrec, but I thought because the president have already made these millions or billions, and I thought he will put the interest, yes, of the ANC, also he will promote the interest of the ANC, but at the end of the day, at least put the interest of the country first. But unfortunately, is not doing that. And I don't know whether the president in his mind and his team are playing it very cautious to try and secure a second term, because I think it's actually going to be extremely hard for President Cyril Ramaphosa to get a second term. And that's, I think, if I just think on my feet, perhaps they are a little bit very cautious around this whole issue of how they deal with certain matters.
I appreciate your time in speaking to us this morning. Political analyst Setulego Matabisi joining us via Zoom. ANC Integrity Commission going to be sitting with the Secretary-General of the ANC, Magashule, this weekend.